Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. I'm recording this right after I recorded my last Cursed City video. I sat down for about, I think it took about half an hour actually of proper sort of focus and thought. But we built a team to easily come in and smash Amius the Lunar Archon. Is this an accessible team? No, not really, because there's a Krisk in there. But if you've got these champions, this team is super easy to beat him. And let me show you how it works. Funny thing is, this is my first time beating him. I actually made a couple of mistakes in this run, but you'll see he gets a massive heal off at one point, which really slows it down, unfortunately. But we learned a lot from it. All this opener matters quite a lot. You'll see sort of the gist. So basically our plan at the start is to not land any debuffs on him, right? In Form 1, debuffs are very bad when he's got these active abilities because he will remove them and heal himself loads. We're just going to wait for him to use them. For whatever reason, at the start of the fight, for me, he kept opening with his A2. I think it's because I didn't have any real debuffs on him. Whereas whenever he switches back into this form, basically from now on, he opens with his A3 instead, which makes it actually much easier. But that's fine. So we're mostly opening with sort of A1s at the start. We can buff up ourselves at the start. Now, when he has used both of his active moves, really it's his the third move, right? His A3. Once that A3 is on cooldown, that is when Venom Age comes in and lands heal reduction. I see it was actually resisted that time. That's a little unlucky, but it's fine. But that is the point where you land the heal reduction, right? You must save it for that. And that is the simple rule of how you use Venom Age. Krisk actually died there, which is a little unlucky. But that's okay. I also discovered in this form, very simple rule. The boss, he switches to Form 2. He's going to strip all of our buffs. He's going to nuke us with the AoE. But because we built tanky enough, we survive. It does seem to me that you need some buffs up for him to do that. You probably saw my test runs that I just recorded like an hour ago, or that you probably saw yesterday, that if there are no buffs on your team, he goes in with his A1 and he just completely wrecks you. And it's a terrible idea. So we don't want to do that. We basically want him to use all of his moves. Then we go with the ally protection from Krisk. And honestly, ally protection from Krisk is strong enough that he cannot kill you in that second form. So now you're safe. You can see here, I hadn't saved my A3. That's the mistake. You must save heal reduction on Venom Age. I think I used it in that second phase. You want to land it right after this A3, because what's going to happen now, we might get back to it on time. We do. That's a bit lucky. But he's going to do his A2 now. This A2, right, if I pause this, look at this. You can see I was trying to work this out as I was doing this run. I'm sort of explaining to you my knowledge having done it now. This A2 decreases buff duration, but then it gives him a massive maximum HP heal. We want to have heal reduction from Venom Age because it's a 3-turn heal reduction. We want to slap that on before Lunar Storm every time. So this is his full cleanse move, his A3. Wait for that to go out. Then we slap him with the heal reduction. So when he does this move, yes, he decreases all the cooldowns, but he doesn't do this huge heal. Okay? He'll get to a meter, but he doesn't do the heal. That's the important thing. Hopefully I do it right here now I've explained it. I definitely made a mistake at one point in this fight. There we go. Okay, we did it. Heal reduction. So yes, he reduces the cooldown, but bam, he doesn't heal. And actually Brimstone is really doing work. Mithrala, funny enough, Mithrala is amazing for this fight. Mostly just for spamming her A1. And you probably have a couple of Awakening Stars on Mithrala as well, so she can land Brimstone, right? You're probably going to have a high enough accuracy Mithrala. The accuracy aura is good as well. That's a mistake there, using that, I think. We still have 2 turns, so maybe it'll be fast enough. But I think you can actually save it. He doesn't actually do any damage in his Form 1, right? So you just can spam stuff out. It's really all about playing around his active abilities in the form swap. That's what I learned. And when you do that, it actually becomes much more consistent. Like, I was trying to, I guess, play too smart the first time I did this and min-max a bit too much, and it was a disaster. That's the other thing we really want to do, by the way. When there is the 1 turn on his transformation, that is when we want to do the Venom Age A2. We will be somewhat protected by Krisk passive, but this is better. We want to get decrease attack on the boss before he swaps forms so that he doesn't kill us when we're really vulnerable at the start of Form 2. So you'll see, we got 3 turns decrease attack. That's perfect. Just keep landing poisons with Mithrala. She's the big damage dealer for this fight. So he switches forms, strips our buffs off, most of them. Some of them actually survive, which is funny. Protection set could be good here as well, guys, actually. Protection set could be very strong to stop him from doing that. But he does his 2 nukes, right? He's nuking us all, and you can see we survive. Chris comes low, but we survive thanks to that decreased attack. So decreased attack is going to let us live through both of these moves. Okay. And then at this point, we can come in. Again, we've got Mithrala to cleanse. We've got an Elva to cleanse and to heal us. We've got Pythion to heal us and cleanse. For the most part, Pythion was in here for his passive, which reduces the damage we take when we've got buffs on. This is a mistake right here. Do not do this. I think this is a mistake I make. I'm like, do I have enough time? No, don't do that. Don't do that. Save that move. Just spam Venomage A1, right? Venomage A1 constantly. Heal reduction after the A3 in Form 1. Then A2 for decreased attack right before he switches into Form 2. It's that simple. So when this buff expires, that's when he switches back into Form 1. So we're just going to spam our moves here. A1. You can see we're not going to have our stuff ready on time. But this would be super smooth otherwise. But you get the idea. I think ally protection, like Krisk brings, is very strong here. Any sort of passive damage reduction. We just want to make sure not to die to the boss's Form 2, basically. That does a lot of damage. You want to survive his A1. I found that Pythion passive plus Krisk ally protection made it super safe. Honestly, I don't even think you need it. I think so long as you've got buffs on and he does his A3, A2 in Form 2, then you cleanse off, then you buff up, and you can survive his A1 in Form 2, and it's fine. Here we go in. So we go in here. He does his A3, and this is my mistake. We should have saved heal reduction. Watch what happens if you don't have heal reduction and you don't save it. Are we ready? Here we go. So we're all fine. Everything is good. Mithrala's laying out the poisons. Venomage comes in. Uh-oh. 1 turn cooldown on the A3. It's not ready. You must save it for when he's going to do his A2 every single time. Watch what happens. You're like, the boss, he's almost dead. This is my best run ever. This is fantastic. Are you ready? Like, Venomage, get back to your turn. And the boss is almost back to full health. Now he drops off some of it. Let's actually put the speed up. You've seen everything at this point, and I think this is the point where I worked it out. I was like, okay, I understand now. So we used her A3 there. That's fine, just to get it going. But now we're going to save her A3. So we come around. Elva, we're going to save her move until he does his Form 2 nukes. He's going to switch to Form 2 in a second. So we put the decreased attack on. Form 2. He smacks us. He smacks us again. We survive. Then we cleanse, we buff up, ally protect, right? Nothing the boss can do to hurt us now. We don't even need Mithrala's defensive moves. Look, Venomage barely gets tickled at this point. Now we can just spam our stuff. That's fine. Save Venomage's move. Mithrala keeps doing poisons. We're basically just in A1 territory. There we go. He's done the A3. We'll actually buff up with Krisk. Now we put on the heal reduction, the poisons. We can buff up with her. That's fine. For some speed. And now we're basically in A1 mode, right? Just save everything, right? Two turns left on this. We use her A1. Right, 1 turn left on his transformation. We're going to A2 with Venomage. A1 with everybody else. A2 for decreased attack. Just keep laying on the poisons. He switches. Does his 2 moves. Decreased attack is on. We survive. We cleanse. We buff up. More poisons. Healing there. Just A1 with her. Remember, saving that. Ally protection goes on now, so we don't die to the A1. The A1, it's a little tickle, thanks to Pythion passive. And we've got some Awakening Stars on Krisk as well, and Venomage. They seem to be targeted the most. I think they've got the lowest HP, I think. And there we go. He does his thing. Heal reduction goes on. You can see we got the rhythm here, right? This is where we finally got the rhythm. It's like, oh, I get it now. Okay, let's go. And there we go. Amius goes down and we are done. I jump back into the game. I just recorded this straight after I left it to break it down. But you see the gist, right? You get the idea of what champions you could replace. Venomage, very difficult to replace. Very difficult. I think you could use a Cold Heart, but you'd have to really build her very specifically. The main thing Venomage does is heal reduction. Does do some damage with poisons. Mithrala, very difficult to replace. The accuracy aura is helpful. She's just sort of very consistently giving us poisons because the boss cannot, replace the poisons with something beneficial to him. So poisons are really the main source of damage. Poisons and brimstone is how we're killing this boss. Poisons and brimstone. So she's very important, and everyone can get her, luckily. Krisk, I think, could really be any ally protector. Possibly you don't even need the ally protect, right? But that's what he was there for, was for his passive and for the ally protection, just to make the Form 2 a little bit safer. So you could, in theory, use anyone. But I thought Krisk was quite nice, just to make it super safe, right? I genuinely think he's probably the best option here. Just Form 2 activates, he hits you with the 2 AoEs, cleanse it off, Krisk puts up ally protection, you're super safe. Pythion for the passive, and some heal. Like, you see, Python, he really is just there for the passive. Like, he's literally done nothing, right? So you could replace him with somebody else as well. I guess if you brought in Cold Heart instead of Venom Mage, you'd have to bring in another decrease attack champion. Very important to land decrease attack before the boss goes into Form 2. And Elva is there. Elva is doing all the healing. Elva is doing most of the cleansing. Increased speed is nice as well, so she is super good. Her aura would be ideal, but I needed the accuracy aura for Venom Mage. That's the team. That's how it works. We got all this loot. We got some juicy stuff. Supersonic. That's a mythical reroll right there. We get mythical Chaos Ore now, so better save up for that. That could end up being, imagine, 4-star, 4 rolls into mythical speed. It's not going to happen. Not going to be that lucky, but it would be nice. We got ourselves a Sacred Order ring. HP with mythical HP percent, defense percent, and attack percent as well. That is absolutely beautiful. Is that's super? No, it's merciless as well. It's still probably insanely good. Honestly, it's a pity it's not attack percent, but it's still probably insanely good. Got a merciless banner, accuracy not great, and crit damage merciless ring with attack, defense, accuracy, and resist. Again, that is insanely good. Just by putting this on a Skinwalker, one piece merciless. That's now 10% attack on top of that. That's nuts. That's so good. There we go. I tell you what, to celebrate, just for fun as well, let's pull a mythical remnant for fun. We've got a 2.5% chance for a mythical. Let's do it for the video. I would actually, we got an epic. It's a shaman. I would probably hold on to these for, like, I'm guessing this might work for Champion Chase tournaments. I'm guessing they might eventually add some sort of events to make this better. I think the smart thing to do is probably to hold on to them at least for a little while, right? You get at max 2 for clearing hard. It's pretty low. I thought I'd pull that one just for the fun of the video. Most likely it's going to be epic. I'd say at least hold on to a Champion Chase tournament. But yeah, unless you're doing a video like this, and then go for it. But yeah, there you go, guys. That was my team for Amius the Lunar Archon. We actually grabbed 25 candles now. Get some energy and some chickens. Beautiful. All right, I got to edit this in. When I initially recorded the video, I totally forgot to cover the gear on these champions, because I didn't actually re-gear almost anyone for this, but there's still some very good gear on some of these champions. So let me show it to you. So first of all, we've got Krisk. He's in triple perception. This is still the same Krisk I use for Nightmare Hydra. So here we go. He's got 77,000 HP, 3.3k defense, 248 speed, 521 resist, 462 accuracy. I would say I don't think the speed super matters, but I do think you want him to be slower than your cleanser. I think that's important so that you can cleanse off the debuffs before he puts on the ally protection in Form 2. So I think that's important. But like, he doesn't really need to place the debuffs apart from Brimstone. That's helpful, but Mithrala has that too. So he doesn't actually even super need accuracy. Kind of nice for his passive. But yeah, and the resistance is not really essential. We're not building a resistance team for this boss. He has these masteries, and he has a Blood Shield ring. So this is the Krisk setup for Hydra as well. Pythion, again, he's set up for mostly Arena. He's built with tons of HP. He's actually got a lot of defense, 246 speed, probably a little bit slow. The boss is 250 speed. It's probably better to be faster than the boss, but like I said, he's mostly there just for his passive. So I feel like he could almost be in anything, honestly. He has these masteries. Like, that's how I built him anyway, if you want to copy stuff stat for stat. I will say, consistently with the HP and the defense, I think that the A1 from Amius does target whoever has the lowest HP on your team. I think that's how it works. So if you have an ally protector, I really don't think you're in too much danger of dying anyway. But if you're running without a Krisk, without an ally protector, you're just sort of tanking the A1 to the face, you can totally do it. That's where maybe being careful with your HP is going to be a bit more important. Mithrala, she's actually in bolster and perception. Again, that's really not important. Bolster really does not matter. She's, again, built for Arena. Enough accuracy to land the poisons. That's obviously very important. Right? You want her to be basically 100% consistent on that. 269 speed, very tanky as well. These are her masteries. War Master would be a good bit better. That'd speed up your run because she's attacking with her A1 nearly every single turn. So that's her. Then we had Venom Mage up next. I did change her gear from the last time. So Venom Mage is like this. Over 250 speed is going to be important. Her actually defensive stats are a bit low. So again, without a Krisk, I might be trying to get these a bit higher. They might be a little bit too low. 473 accuracy. Simple enough. I get more Awakening is really strong on Venom Mage. That's actually a pretty big deal because it's going to reduce the damage that the boss deals to her. So for surviving, that's important. You could give her a defensive blessing. I gave her Cruelty. Doesn't really make too much difference because Poison is doing most of the work. But Cruelty will up your War Master damage a little bit. You could totally switch her into something defensive. That's totally fine. War Master, make her poisons last longer, basically. Simple and straightforward. And I think Elva was the last. I should have done her before. Elva, she's in really good gear. 6-piece stone skin. Again, that's not important. Stalwart, probably the best set for your revivers, I guess, but not a huge deal. Stalwart's also really strong, or Defiant, for Elva, for Ice Golem as well. But she's, good defensive stats. She's crazy fast. Again, doesn't really need to be that fast. You could potentially build her with more resist. I think you need like 600 to 700 resist or something like that for Amius. I'd have to double check, but you need a lot of resistance. So it's probably not worth building unless you're doing an increased resistance team, which I do think could work. Could be very good. I didn't need to do it for this rotation, but it's something to consider next time for sure. But yeah, again, she doesn't need to be quite this quick. Again, over 250. Amius is 250 speed. Getting over that would be your goal. And these are her masteries. So those are the builds on the champions. As you can see, we absolutely smashed it. So I do think we outgeared it quite a bit, really, once we got the team set up and working together, especially because you only have to do it once in the month, right? So it's not bad. Sub 10-minute manual run, very safe and consistent. But that's the gear that we use. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Good luck with beating Amius yourself. I'm actually very curious if you used different teams or different champions, especially more budget versions would be cool to see, because that's definitely my vibe from beating it here. Once the boss is moving in the right order, right? And you just time those skills, the heal reduction, your cleanses and defensive buffs, you time those at the right time and decrease attack at the right time. It actually seems quite flexible for beating him, at least on hard difficulty. We'll see when they come back with brutal or nightmare difficulty. We'll see with maybe the next champs, because the champs required are going to change each rotation. It'll be different factions, maybe only specific affinities, stuff like that. There's going to be restrictions, new ones every month. That's going to switch it up. But hey, for month 1, are we at pretty quick in? I'm actually shocked. Was that like four days in? Amius is down. He's done. Done. So now the big challenge, which we're going to start probably tomorrow, is moving into Soul Cross and seeing can we beat the Soul Cross bosses and stages. That's going to be a challenge. I will say I'm fairly confident that I can clear up these 3 regions. Probably no problem. But Soul Cross is another question. Anyway, we'll see you for more Cursed City stuff. We'll be going for the hardest content first, as always. We'll be doing that tomorrow for more. Thank you for watching. The shard pull video I did record earlier, I might have mentioned it. That's going to be out tomorrow instead as well, because I just have too many videos today. I wanted to get this one out ASAP. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Goodbye.